Ever wonder why we say someone is burning the candle at both ends? Imagine a candle flickering on two wicks, each fighting for air. That's the spark behind today's idiom adventure.
We hear those phrases all the time, Alex, but most listeners don't know the origins or the subtle differences between them.
In the next 8 minutes, we'll break down 10 common expressions, give you real-world examples, and even share a surprising historical twist for each.
We'll start with the classic candle metaphors, move through animal-based sayings, and finish with a few that sound like advice from a self-help book.
Ready to test how many of these you've actually used correctly? What do you think, Sarah? Have you ever burned the midnight oil without even realizing it?
Let's dive in and uncover the stories behind each phrase so you can drop them into conversation with confidence. First up, burning the candle at both ends. It describes someone who works excessively, juggling too many commitments and risking burnout.
Wow, that image really sticks. I've definitely felt that way during exam season. The phrase dates back to the 17th century, when candles were the primary light source. Burning both ends meant a shorter lifespan, a literal warning against overexertion. But here's what's really interesting. The modern twist replaces candles with coffee cups, yet the core lesson stays the same.
Speaking of late nights, burn the midnight oil originally referred to working by oil lamps after dark, a practice common among scholars in medieval Europe.
Exactly. And today, it's a badge of honor for freelancers pulling all-nighters to meet deadlines.
What most people don't realize is that the phrase also carries a subtle caution. Too much oil can cause a fire hazard, just like overworking can harm health.
Here's where it gets fascinating. In tech circles, burning the midnight oil is often replaced by crunch time, but the underlying drive is the same.
Moving on. Bark up the wrong tree. This one comes from 19th century American hunting, where dogs would mistakenly chase squirrels up the wrong tree.
That reminds me of a time I argued with a colleague about a project direction, only to discover I was barking up the wrong tree the whole meeting.
Exactly, Alex. It's a perfect reminder to double-check assumptions before investing effort.
Now, get hold of the wrong end of the stick. A British phrase meaning to misunderstand a situation completely.
The origin lies in the 19th century practice of using a stick to test the depth of a well. Grabbing the wrong end would give you the opposite reading.
Wow, I didn't know that. It's like mixing up your left and right sock in the dark.
Next, a recipe for disaster. A phrase that suggests a combination of elements guaranteed to fail.
And that's just the beginning. Think of adding too much sugar to a souffle, and you've literally got a recipe for disaster.
A window of opportunity follows. It refers to a brief period when conditions are just right for action.
But the real game changer is recognizing that window before it closes, like catching a flash sale before it ends.
The jury is still out. This legal metaphor signals that a decision or verdict has not yet been reached.
Here's what's truly remarkable. In science, we often say the jury is still out on new theories until peer review settles the debate.
Fails spectacularly. A modern twist that emphasizes a dramatic public failure, often used in business postmortems.
That leads us to the lesson that even spectacular failures can teach us more than quiet successes.
March to the beat of your own drum, an encouragement to follow your personal rhythm rather than conforming to external expectations.
Exactly. And it reminds me of musicians who improvise, creating unique melodies that stand out.
Finally, milk it. To exploit a situation or advantage to the fullest, often beyond the point of diminishing returns.
So whether it's a viral trend or a lucrative contract, knowing when to stop milking it keeps you from burning out.
To recap, we've explored origins, modern uses, and practical tips for each expression, giving you a richer toolbox for everyday conversation.
And now, you can drop these idioms into any chat and sound both witty and well-read. That's a win for everyone.
Key takeaways: understand the history, recognize the context, and use each phrase purposefully.
Remember, language is a living thing. The more you play with it, the more vibrant your communication becomes.
Next episode, we'll dive into the world of proverbs from around the globe and how they shape cultural mindsets.
You won't want to miss the surprising stories behind those timeless nuggets of wisdom.
Thanks for joining us on Idiom Insights. Keep listening, keep learning, and keep the conversation alive.
Until next time, stay curious and keep those idioms rolling.